Bad decisions. Into this, look at that. Also works so a lot easier when it's disconnected. Hello, my Rover friends, and welcome back to the Lucky 8 Off-Road channel. Last time we were standing in front of my worst decision ever. I was feeling depressed and sad and wondering why I did it. Well, today I've come back in the shop and I'm here to tell you that all of those emotions are still there. What have I done? What was I thinking? And this is a horrible idea. I did do some reading and I found out there is 2 bolts on the backside of the front cover, which is really the side cover, so I can get access to the timing belts. There's one on the bottom. So I'm gonna dig into that, and then I'm gonna take off the upper plenum and see if they've got the wrong O-rings, because looking at it where the little plastic variable intake module sits, they have the wrong O-rings on it. So if I'm lucky, they just put whatever O-rings were close, and that is how come I'm getting oil and coolant into the intake, and maybe the heads are fine. I am fingers crossed on that, but I can hear you laughing on the other side of the camera. It ain't gonna be like that, buddy. You're doing a head gasket job. Okay, cue the intro. Let's dive in. Okay, making some progress. The front cover is held on with 2 of the bolts that hold on the air conditioning unit, the compressor. Got those free. I am struggling on 2 13 mil head bolts on the back. I have to use my adjustable head breaker bar to get this tiny little bolt free. I can't make this stuff up. This car hates me. Everything fights me on this car. Everything. All the bolts are out. You can hear the cover rattling. No, don't want to come out. That's right. I read about this. It's caught on the dipstick. You have to take the dipstick out, expose the oil pan, so all that can fall into the oil sump so you can get the timing belt cover off. Ridiculous. Hoping you guys can see all that oil down there. There it is. If I was the engineers, I'd say, you know, it'd be fun. Make the oil level higher than the dipstick tube. So if you got to pull it out to do any service, it just pours oil all over the place. All right, finally, we can see what is doing with the front longer timing belt. And look at this. That's not supposed to spin. There's no tension on it. The belt's super flexible. I could almost pull this off by hand. Very happy I got in here to do this. There is no way this was gonna make it to California and back. All right, surprise, surprise, I'm at yet another loss. Pulled up those aluminum intakes. The gaskets don't look bad. There's a little seepage here and there, but I don't know how we are getting oil and coolant into this. Look at that. That is not good. That's probably important. Yeah, I don't know how we're getting it in there. Bad decisions, bad decisions. All right, I'm starting to go through, right? Anger, fear, I'm at acceptance, or is it fear, anger? I really don't know. I'm pretty sure the heads are proper. Let's take a look. I pulled the inside timing cover on the front, and it is stamped with Land Rover, so God knows that's been on there for a minute, and it's extremely loose, which is leading me to think that it has slipped a tooth or two, and then the one in the back is where I think the major problem is going to be. Looking at the coolant in that upper plenum, I think it's drawing it from this vacuum line back here. But take a look at the belt, and I guess we're gonna start pulling heads. So here's the easy one to get to, but there's tension here, and that's not good. The only thing I remember from the reading is these lines right here are supposed to line up like so. So it doesn't look like it's really jumped a bunch of teeth. If any, it's hard to tell. I gotta get the timing tool on it and look. But back here, somebody's been in it, changed out that gasket, skipped this gasket, which leads me to believe something went sideways back there. And when I pull this cover off, it's gonna ruin the rest of my day. You guys probably can't see that, but this belt is looser than the one up front. And, well, my alignment marks don't look too bad. I may get lucky. Oh, God. All right. I've taken off the upper valve covers on both sides, and I'm feeling a little better. There's not a lot of like coolant or anything bad. The cams themselves look good. They don't look worn out, but it is full of jelly. Right here where the little intake is for the vacuum system. So how are we getting jelly here? I don't know yet, but we're gonna find out. Either way, I'm pulling the heads, and ha 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 Joe, it's the only thing I got to brag about in this disastrous job. Ha 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 Joe from Lost Cause Ranch. I'm sure you guys know him. If not, subscribe to him. He's way more entertaining than me. His head, or his, oh my God, I am so beat up by this car. His engine was disgusting and filled to the top with sludge. Ours at least looks pretty clean. Have a look at it. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm gonna align the timing next, and then we're gonna pull the heads off. Here's the top of the head showing the cams. It's actually pretty clean in there. And then same thing back here. All right, my friends, I got a glimmer of hope. Had a phone call with Ralph from Sarek Automotive and Lost Cause Joe, and we were talking about the different things. There is a few O-rings in the plenum area that may be responsible for coolant getting pulled into the engine. Ralph thinks it's the heater circuit for the throttle body itself, so I might have a bad throttle body, not end of the world. And Joe says, hey, in mine, there was a couple of bad O-rings in the plenum itself, so fingers double crossed. And I'm also feeling a lot better. The timing itself, right? I'm getting ready to take off the heads, and I wanted to test everything. I put the timing tools on, and they all line up. So believe it or not, with those sloppy belts, this car did not skip a tooth. Yay! Actually, I didn't check the back. Now that I said that, here is the official timing tool. So we put it on the front like so. Boom, lines up. Looking at the back one here, oh, they give me so much room. That's probably my favorite part, is all the room. I stuttered there because it doesn't look like it's gonna align, but hot diggity dog also works. So back to that, I don't think the heads have a problem with smashed valves. Let's keep digging. Okay, the front head is off, and I'm definitely glad I did this. One of the pistons has been steam cleaned. That means we were leaking coolant into the motor and probably exhaust into the coolant system. Probably wasn't going to California that way. I'll bring the camera and you can see what I'm talking about, but as of now, I'm still double finger crossed that the motor is good. None of the liners appear to have dropped. So yay for that. Let's take a look at the motor. Then I'm gonna get the rear head off and we'll see what happens. You can see right there, that first one is steam cleaned, extra good. So let's get the back head off next and see what trouble awaits. Oh, that's bad. There's something bolted to the back of the head. Why would you do this to me, Rover? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's just how this motor goes together. All right, let's try this again. Oh. A lot easier when it's disconnected. All right, guys, there you have it. We got some stuff accomplished today. At least everything is out. We can then go send the heads out to have them pressure tested. And I looked at all the liners, they look good. We've got a steam clean piston, which definitely means head gasket time. The timing belts were just dangerously bad, so I'm glad we're changing those. I really haven't found my silver bullet for why we were getting coolant into the plenum. I don't think the head gasket was it, but maybe it was. So fingers double crossed on that. And thanks for watching. And be sure to follow for more of whatever content this is. See ya.